She snapped, "Stay away from me," with a venom so sharp it sliced straight through the night. Her eyes cold like she had already buried me somewhere in her past. And as she stormed out of the apartment with her trembling hands clutching her phone like it held her new world, I stood frozen. Not in anger, but in the strange silence that comes right before a storm breaks something wide open. Because I knew, God, I knew, that people don't spit that much fire unless they're terrified of the truth that's about to swallow them whole. So I let her leave, let her slam the door so hard the frame shook, because I had already planted the one thing she never expected. The one truth she had been hiding for months, maybe years, and tonight was the night her lies finally bled out in daylight. She thought she won, thought her sharp words made me retreat, made me the weak one. But little did she know that my silence wasn't surrender. It was the countdown to the moment her fake victory exploded in her face. I watched from the window as she stepped into the streetlight, pacing like she was waiting for someone, checking her screen again and again with a type of panic only guilt can build. And right when a black car stopped near her and she rushed toward it like a person desperate to escape the consequences she caused, I felt the piece of truth settle in my chest. The truth that had been quietly eating me alive for weeks. The messages, the late-night calls, the sudden distance, the cold tone, the night she came home smelling like another timeline, another life, another man. But tonight wasn't about catching her cheating. It was about something far deeper, something that terrified even me, because for the first time I wasn't chasing proof. I was watching how a lie ends when it thinks it's winning. The car door opened, and I saw his silhouette. Tall, sharp, confident. The same man she swore she blocked. The same man she said was just noise from the past. Yet here he was, grabbing her hand like she belonged to him, whispering in her ear like she offered him something priceless. And as she slid inside the car, her shoulders slumped with a strange mix of relief and fear, I whispered to myself, "It's time." I didn't follow them. I had already done the one thing that mattered. I gave the truth the space to walk on its own legs. I sat in the darkness of our apartment, the walls holding their breath, the air heavy with the weight of betrayal and revelation, until dawn finally cracked open the sky in shades of quiet gold. And that was when my phone lit up with a notification that changed everything. She has read the file. The file I had named, "For the Day You Lie to Me Again." The file she thought she'd never see. The file that carried the truth she had been hiding from everyone, even him, especially him. She must have opened it inside his car, because minutes later his number flashed on my screen, a call I didn't answer, but the voicemail that followed was nothing but pure chaos. His voice shaking, her sobbing in the background, papers rustling, her saying, "It's not what you think," and him shouting, "You used me, you used all of us." And that was when I knew she had finally come face to face with the truth she buried so deep she thought even the ground forgot it existed. The truth wasn't about infidelity. It was about the money she stole from her company, the documents she forged, the secret bank account she hid under a fake name, the one I discovered by accident when my email synced with hers during a glitch, and instead of confronting her, I waited. I waited for the moment she would choose to hurt me so I could let the truth hurt her worse. And when the man she met, the man she used as a shield, as a distraction, realized she had dragged him into a crime without telling him, he kicked her out of the car right in the middle of the empty morning street. I watched from a distance this time, not hidden, not afraid, just present enough for her to see me when she stood shaking under the cold dawn sky, mascara running down her face, her phone clutched like it was burning her hand, and when her eyes met mine, she broke. Not in a small way, not in a way that begged for forgiveness. She broke in the way a person breaks when they realize their lies have finally run out of places to hide. She stepped toward me, her voice a brittle whisper. Why did you do this to me?" And I almost laughed. Not out of cruelty, but out of the insane irony that the person who destroyed everything with her own hands wanted to blame the one person who tried to hold her together. So I took one slow breath and said the sentence that finally ended everything. "You told me to stay away. So I let the truth come instead." Her legs gave out. She collapsed onto the pavement as sirens echoed in the distance, growing louder, closer. Probably called by him, maybe by someone she scammed, maybe by fate itself. And I turned around, not to watch her be taken away, not to watch her shattered kingdom burn, but because for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt free, like the weight she placed on my heart had finally lifted. As the police car lights flashed behind me, painting the dawn red and blue, her voice cracked through the air, screaming my name like she finally understood what losing me meant. But I didn't look back, not once, because some endings aren't tragedies. They're rescues disguised as heartbreak. And that morning, as I walked into my new life, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. Everyone who heard this story would return for the next. Not because of her fall, but because of the truth that rose from it.